Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by the Darlington track president, Kerry Tharp. At time of recording, we just wrapped up with the NASCAR Cup Series race at Dover, and now we are getting ready for Throwback Weekend in Darlington. And I know you've been doing interviews all day today. How excited are you for this weekend?
Well, Casey, very excited to have the Throwback Weekend back here at Darlington. It's really the first time since September 2019 we've had it in its entirety. And so we're really excited about that. I know our fans are excited about it. I know that the Hall of Famers and the legends that we've invited back are excited. So it's going to be an opportunity for our fans to really experience this special weekend, unlike they've been able to the past several events. And so a lot going on. They're going to, our fans have a full plate of activities to choose from, and campers will start arriving really here tomorrow. So action is starting to pick up here at Darlington, that's for sure.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Throwback Thursday dance thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a throwback 80s dance party in the Midway. I think we got everything from mullet contest to lip sync contest to air guitar. We've got 80s music. We got giveaways, prize packages, just an opportunity for our fans to kind of get in the mood. And it's open to the public. It's open not just to the people here on property, but open to the public around this community. And so we hope they show up in full force, and it'll start at 7 o'clock, probably wind down close to 9, but just gives our fans an opportunity to kind of get a jump start on the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I know I know Darlington has done Throwback Weekend for since 2015. Are you surprised at how Throwback Weekend has kind of evolved into what it is now?
Well, yes and no. I think the throwback was a wonderful idea that folks at NASCAR and INC had. It was a great brainchild, and it's really injected a lot of energy into our track. And really, the whole industry has wrapped their arms around it. And so it's grown each year. There were a couple years, quite frankly, where the pandemic impacted it. But now that we're able to kind of get back to its entirety, we're looking forward to being able to take a walk down memory lane. That's what I like to say. It's kind of like walking down memory lane and reliving the heroes and the great stories of the past. And many of these people that will be here on property have helped shape the sport. And we look forward to having our fans experience all that.
You talk about the pandemic, of course. Obviously, everybody knows that this track launched NASCAR in its return to the pandemic. We're coming up on 2 years on that just in a few weeks. I've always wanted to ask you this, but what did that moment teach you as somebody that ran a racetrack and somebody that what did all that getting ready for that race taught you about yourself?
Well, I think, Casey, that it was a great exercise in teamwork and communication. It was something that nobody really ever done before. Put on a huge professional sporting event with no fans in the stands, and having to go through all the protocols that we had to go through, and rightfully so. I think NASCAR did a better job than any other sports entity in navigating through the pandemic. And we were the first league to come back to live sports, and also the first league to have fans back in the stands. And so, it taught me also to never take for granted the fans that support your sport, support your track. We couldn't do it if it wasn't for the fans, or the fans that have been with Darlington since the very beginning in 1950. It's amazing that this track has stood the test of time, and I'll never forget that, though. About 2 years ago, as you alluded to, is when we brought racing back, May 17th, 2020 to be exact, and something that will always stick out in my mind.
Yep. And of course, going in, this is kind of like, coming from that to now, where, now we were at full capacity for this last year's Southern 500, but now fans can go inside the infield, and basically it's it's more like pre-pandemic at times, I should say. But what's it like to have fans back in interacting with drivers again and all that?
Well, it means everything for our fans to be back, get a driver's autograph, get a picture taken with a driver. You know, those are things sometimes that we took for granted and weren't able to experience those the past couple of years. And like I said, for a good reason. So I think our fans are going to be in store for a really, really neat experience, to being able to, that's one thing that sets our sport apart from many others, the accessibility that our fans have with the heroes of the sport. And I think that is something that, like I said, is our trademark, and we're going to really try to hone that in this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. First race with the next gen car as well. We know if you watch that Cup race, in fact, if you've watched the whole entire season, especially today, it's quite the car, and it's getting excitement in all these
Yeah.
tracks. And of course, we all know Darlington's a tough track anyway, but now with this car, it's going to make it even a lot tougher.
Well, we had a Goodyear tire test here about 3 weeks ago, and all three drivers, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Larson, said that this new car was a real handful and very difficult to drive, and which leads me to believe that it's going to put on a really heck of a race on Sunday. And so the tire wear that Goodyear got during that test was excellent. You know, tires really fall off here at Darlington, which really makes for a better race. So I think you combine the tire wear and you combine the next gen car, and I think you have the recipe for one heck of a race on Sunday.
Yeah, speaking of tires, of course, Goodyear going all out with the Goodyear 400. What's it like to partner with them? And I know they got a pretty special tire coming this weekend too.
They do have a special tire, and they've always been great supporters of the Throwback Weekend. You know, when you think about Throwback and you think about iconic partners in the sport, Goodyear's at the very top of the list. And so we're fortunate to have them as the entitlement sponsor for the Goodyear 400. I can't think of another partner in our sport that matches up better than with the Throwback at Darlington. And so they do a super job. They have one of the toughest jobs in all of sports, if you ask me, and that's coming up with a tire that is safe and also competitive. But I tell you what, they do a heck of a job with that week in and week out.
I know you're supposed to be biased with this, but last question. Do you have a favorite throwback scheme that's been revealed yet?
Well, the one that I keep going back to is the one that William Byron's driving for the 24 car, the kind of the throwback to Jeff Gordon. I just think the colors on that car are so cool looking. I think it's going to look great out on the raceway this weekend, and the sun hitting that car. That's the one that kind of sticks out in my mind so far, is that iconic throwback to Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, the Ty Gibbs, and also the Ty Gibbs Bobby Labonte throwback.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's 3 to Mark Martin. Mark Martin's got 3 cars that are throwing it back to him.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are going to be out, and there's some cool ones still left to be revealed.
Oh yeah, no question. There'll be a couple more here coming out the next few days.
All right. Well, Kerry Tharp, thank you so much, and congratulations on all the success that you guys have had, and good luck this weekend at Darlington, and have a fun weekend.
Okay, Casey, thank you.
All right.